Hi. Hi, guys. Okay. I realized I always start with okay. Like a big, giant okay. Um, so, a bunch of things I'd like to share today. I'm going to take my glasses off. Um, it's so interesting that I've got all these pictures. I'm going to share the Callisto pictures that I have, that I put up on eBay today. And then I only have like maybe 14 pictures after that, maybe less, and then I'm done. I've got some Callisto dolls that I'm going to show you guys to see if you're even interested in them. And I actually woke up this morning and I was like, should I keep my bobblehead doll? And then I was like, no, I don't want that. But I just had a moment, I think, because I think the bobblehead doll, to have a bobblehead doll of yourself is hilarious. It's just so ridiculous that it ran through my mind. And I actually thought, I'm sure you all know how, the way I think, at least the people that are a little bit more involved in my life a little bit. I was thinking maybe I could put like a little bindi on the Callisto doll, the bobble doll, and wrap her in white. But so, hi everybody. Hi. Happy Wednesday. Well, the bobblehead doll is going up, so you can definitely bid on it when we take a picture of it and figure out how to send it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the pictures, tell you a little bit about the stories, about the photos, and then I've got like a bunch of dolls. Now I have to warn you about the dolls. Well, I have to warn you, I've had a lot of caffeine and I haven't eaten yet, so there's that. So I feel bad for all of you. Although I have meditated and chanted and done yoga, but that doesn't change the fact that I'm high as a kite on caffeine. I'm glad you guys enjoyed Callisto. And hello. Hi, everybody. Hi. You guys warm my heart. You really do. Even high on caffeine, you warm my heart. So there's also something else that I do with all the pictures. I literally put up other pictures on top of my old Callisto's pictures of like holy people. This is Ramana Krishna. Like, no joke. I have Lahiri Mahanzai on another group of pictures, and then up here I have Babaji. I can't reach him, but I have Babaji on top of my other pictures. And you may think, why does she do that? I think because the holy people are more interesting to me than my past life as playing a psychopath. Maybe I think it keeps that energy down. I don't really know. But I think it's also you can see it. You can see it in the mainstream right now, like being an actress or having lots of money or being somewhat famous that's not the answer to happiness. You can see it with famous people all the time, and I actually have a lot of empathy for people that are super famous, because that is a lot of energy to deal with. You know, like one could think, if they were not brought up in it, that was love, and it's not love. Admiration for a moment is not love and security. And even love and security from other human beings is definitely fallible from all of us. But the whole thing of fame and success and being youthful, someone wrote, oh, that was the best years of your life, something like that on Facebook. I didn't see it. I haven't seen it recently, but I saw it and I was like, that person doesn't know me. Because just because you're young and beautiful and you're on TV or society finds you pretty doesn't mean that that's your joy. That doesn't mean that that's an assumption. And that's what we all assume. Like, when you have that, then you're complete. And I'm so grateful that I wasn't complete in all that. And as I age, and I'm getting more white right here, I'm very excited about it. I don't know why. And some pieces in here, and my eyebrows. And like, yeah, I have vanity. I'm not thrilled about the idea of like being completely shriveled, and yet And yet there's sort of an excitement about it as well. That's true. They love the characters. They don't know the actors. I know, but that's sort of sad as well. I mean, if they don't, it's still that human being, that energy is coming through that human being. And so I understand why people connect to that character and that actor, because it's combined. But I think a lot of times we have no idea how challenging it is for people who act, that are put in this limelight, and we throw all this energy at, and then they have to deal with that themselves, or the press, or trying to be an actor is very hard. This is in my past, like a long time ago, because you're like, look at them, look at them. You're like a peacock trying to promote yourself. And then everybody else promotes you. And especially in the States, they build you up to be this kind of, if you read things, the famous people will say, never believe your press. Like never believe it. And I heard recently from a spiritual teacher, never trust when people say they praise you, and never praise yourself. And this is going to seem so counterintuitive to the Western world or any part of the world, but the people that actually say bad things about you, this is going to sound really weird, but I get it, because it doesn't happen a lot, but when it does, I'm like shocked by it, but I'm also grateful for it. When people say bad things about you, in a weird way, they're your spiritual friends, because they're the ones that are like, you're not so great. Like you're not, I had this one man write me something recently, and he's like, I think he wrote something like, are you trying to make yourself unattractive? Because like everything you're talking about is really boring, and you should have 50,000 followers at least, and something else. And then my friend was like, you should have more followers. And I was like, oh my friend said that to me, and I was like, God, you guys miss it. Like, you really think I want more followers? Like, you think that's what I want? Like, I'm on this so I can get a bunch of people again, so I can be in the same position that I literally put holy people on top of to try to hold it down. Like, it's not. And a lot of people also don't understand why I'm putting these up for eBay. They're like, oh, how sad that aren't you sad to let go of all this? No. Like, no, I am not sad to let go of this. If I had children, which is the only reason I kept it, I was like, okay, well, it'd be fun for my kids to grow up and be like, look at my mom, she's really weird. I thought that would be kind of funny, but I don't have children, and my nephews could give a rat's ass about what their aunt is, and all they need is like a few pictures to see, and all of it's online. But the rest is, and I know this is hard, and I'm sorry if I'm speaking fast, I am on caffeine. I'm actually, there's really not much that I would hold on to in my life physically, like the things that I have. Like this, my mala that Amma wore, is probably the most important thing I own to myself. But everything else I've had in my life, I've had a time period, which maybe I'll share about in some other way. I've had everything stolen from me. My car, my money, all my money in the bank account, my bedding. Now it sounds weird, but the first time I made a lot of money when I did University Hospital, I bought like $5,000 worth of bedding. Like beautiful, I really like nice bedding. So everything taken, like everything, where I had nothing. And what's interesting about that is when you have nothing, you realize you still have you. And what's so amazing about having nothing, like having so much and then having it all taken away from you, everything, is that you realize that you have your life and that all that stuff can be gained again if you want it. And all of it's ephemeral. Like if I turned you around and you're all in front of my altar right now, I'm going to do it. So you're all in front of my altar on my couch in the room that I make my malas in. And this is where I chant and make my malas. And this stuff's more important to me. It's not that I don't care about my past. My past is, it's like the food that's fed me that made this being what it is. So, of course, I can't be ashamed of what's happened in the past, or I am proud. I don't know if that's the right word. I'm really grateful to have played that character. If you guys could hold up on your questions just for now, or your statements, because I'd like to read them. Just let me talk a little bit, and then I will give you guys time, and I would like very much to read what you have to say to me. I really would. So, I hope you guys all heard that, because I'm still getting, but maybe it takes a little bit of time. So I'm going to show you the pictures. And by the way, the dolls, it's not going to surprise you. Everything that I had in my past was dumped literally in these 2 old chests that I found in New York City on the side of the street that I took with me when I was super poor and in acting school. And I made my boyfriend at the time carry them separately to my little apartment. And they're like, one of them's back there, but you can't see it. So I have 2 chests filled with modeling pictures, my own family pictures, which are separate. But my modeling, all my TV stuff, all the Xena dolls. But it's not like I kept them in pristine condition. It's not like they're like, I don't think I have 1 picture of myself in the whole house. I was thinking about this. I was like, they're all of holy people, like, and I am not that. So there's like literally, if you saw my room, it's all of, you get an idea. And I have 1 of myself of Amma hugging me that Anita took when Amma won the Gandhi King Award. And I'll get to the Callisto stuff in a moment, because I know this isn't interesting to all of you. This is my interest. But I think in my 30s, and Amma got the Gandhi King Award in Switzerland, and Anita and I flew like for 3 days, which was crazy. And I got to hug Amma after she won the award, and Anita took a picture of me, and my face is just so happy. And like, that means a lot to me, like that picture. But having a bunch of pictures of me, like, no offense to anyone else who's got gorgeous pictures of themselves, that's just not me. Not something I'm interested in seeing. I like seeing pictures of people I love, and I love being inspired by enlightened people. So, okay, to get that big picture is very beautiful. Are they roses? I don't know what big picture. Oh no, that's not. Those are, I don't know what those are. Okay. So the pictures, I've got 2 Polaroids that we're going to put up that are already up on eBay. So this one is the demon one, and I believe this was for makeup, this Polaroid, and it even says Callisto Demon ×3, and then it says script 2 part 3. So they even had the idea of, and that little hole in it, because the women, it must be costumes, they have they wear something around their waist, and then they've got a loop, like a metal loop that they put on for every character, so they can just look at me, or actually it probably was makeup, so they can look at the makeup to make sure continuity wise it's the same. So I think I had 4 horns, actually. I can only see 2 in this picture. And I really wanted to have sharp teeth. And I believe they were thinking about having contacts as well, but I think I heard Lucy nixed that because it was just one more thing that we didn't need to put on. But I did love that whole thing. And if you can see my body, they actually they painted scales on my whole body as well. And they built up my forehead, and I don't know if I had pointy ears. I think they gave me ears too, but I can't remember. But I did have smaller horns, like 4 horns, and I think they gave Xena like much bigger horns, of course. It's very phallic, isn't it? Callisto has small horns. I should have begged for bigger horns. Anyways, so there's that one, and that's the only one I actually have of the demon, besides that one that just sold. But it's not in full makeup, it's just about the wings. My best friend from high school, I'm going to show both of these, who is still one of my dearest friends in the whole world. Her name is Artemis. And what's interesting about her is she's been in my life since I was 15 years old. And we're sort of like dolphins. Like, we swim next to each other. Even if we're like far apart, we still sort of go in the same way together, like this. I don't know why some people do that, but she also went to India and studied under Paramahansa Pragyananda. She also listens to Amma and is planning to come to Amrita Puri, and does Kriya Yoga, which is the same meditation that I do. She just bought a beautiful house in Vermont, who I just visited, and bought 20 acres of land, and her partner is a gardener. And when she came with me this one time, I was really not well mentally. So she like came as moral support. And you could see how dark my eyes are in one of the pictures. They're like really dark. And I have one more of her that I'll put up later, of her and I. But we dressed her up. This is where my eyes are super dark. She was bald. She actually shaved her head. And this is like 20 years ago. Nobody shaved their head back then. But she's such a little minx. We dressed her up. You could see she was not comfortable. I was like, yes, let's dress you up. I think it was someone else's idea. I think it was the costume person. They're like, let's dress your friend up like you. Because we had the same body. We always had the same exact body type. We were even the same height. She's actually a little taller than I am, but you can't tell in that picture. So, and Artemis is the goddess of the hunt. And what's interesting about that is that Artemis gets jealous of Callisto because Callisto has an affair with... no, it's not Artemis that gets jealous. Sorry. It's Hera who gets jealous and has Artemis turn Callisto into a bear. Like, that's the Greek story of it. So we're like all connected, which is also interesting because Callisto, who turns into a bear, now I know this is really outside of the realm, but just in case you're interested, when Callisto gets turned into a bear, this is not Xena's story. This is the gods, the real deal. I don't know the real deal, but the story. When I did Native American sweat lodges and ceremonies, my first name was Dreaming Bear. So it's like interesting how the world just sort of all connects. So what's nice about that is you can see the full outfits. Like, we're full on, and she's got that wig on, and my eyes are bananas. And then the other one, which I actually love, this is a really beautiful, and we also have pictures of, not that I'd ever put them up for eBay, but maybe I'll share them sometime. We have pictures of us when we were 15 years old at her grandmother's house, dressed up in early 1900s, late 1800s dresses, holding roses and hugging each other and standing next to each other. That looks similar to this, except we were 15. So I hope you can see how much I love her. Like, she's just a huge part of my heart. And she also has the most beautiful singing voice. When she sings a cappella. She sings all different kinds of things. If you look her up, you'll find her music. She also sings, she started singing bhajans, like spiritual music. And she sent it to me, and I just wept. It was just too much for my little brain. And every day, by the way, Monday through Friday, we get together on FaceTime and we listen to the Bhagavad Gita taught by Paramahansa Pragyananda for 1 hour every day to this day, right now. Like today, I will meet with her at 1 o'clock and we will listen to the Bhagavad Gita. So that's my beloved Artemis. I'll save these because they're fun. So this, just to give you a story, that's Ted and I who played Joxer. Ted, especially back then, I haven't seen him in, I don't know how long it's been since I've seen him. This is during the first convention we ever did. There was 5,000 people there. We were all absolutely overwhelmed. We had no idea how people would respond to us. And this particular picture, the day before, I had gotten the job for Touched by an Angel. And they brought me in to blonde my hair in a different way, and that's still the same. That's the angel hairstyle that they put me in, and I just slept in it and then went to the convention the next day. And what's interesting about that story is the woman who hired me, the producer who hired me for Touched by an Angel, she was hiring me for an ongoing character named Celeste. And I remember asking her, I said, do you know that I play really evil characters? And I don't know what form of Christianity she was, but she was very, very Christian. And so I thought, well, I should let her know that I play really dark characters. And she said, it was amazing. She goes, yes, I know what you play. I know your background. And I said, why would you ever pick me to play an angel? And she said, I see something in you. And I remember it made me tear up. I was like, it was a producer, which is really unusual. But this producer who had her own connection to God saw something of God in me. And that was, I'd never experienced that in this kind of world before. It was much easier to play like really slutty characters or really evil characters or very selfish characters. But for someone to say, I see something really light in you, I see light in you, was mind-blowing. So that picture. And the other thing is, I don't think I said this, I can't remember, Ted is an incredible swing dancer. Like, we think I went with my partner, and we all met there at the Brown Derby, and I swung dance with him, and I was like, whoa, like really surprised. Like, he would trip all the time, like he always, something was in his eye, he was always harming himself. But when he danced, he was an absolutely exquisite dancer. And I love dancing, like I love partner dancing. It was like air. And this one I don't think was written really well. This photo is of Callisto when she poisons everyone. And she comes to a party. I guess the whole town comes to the party for some reason. And she gives a gift, and she's wearing a hood, and everyone dies. And you can see how, like, how friendly she is. She's so friendly. Yes, this was a Herc episode. But I do remember taking off my hood when everybody's dead, and I'm like, yay! I do have to say, playing dark characters were super joyful. Okay, and then the two I have, I'll get to those in a second. So I think I told this story about putting these insane giant hunks into my eyes and crying, and how my ex-partner, I don't say ex-partner, that sounds so awful, my partner at the time, who I will love till I am dead, was telling the crew that I was crying, and he was nowhere around me because he just knew me so well. I sound drunk. I've had so much caffeine. And I got to see that said partner for the first time in 12 years last Wednesday. And it just feels like I'm clearing all of my past, like rapidly, before I go to India. Clearing, it's not the right word. It's like I've sort of kept everything in those trunks and not wanted to like deal with it or see it or experience it. I mean, there's so much to it that I have not shared on the outside. I mean, I shared a little bit about losing everything, but there was that those are just things. The things that I experienced were really intense. And he, because of this man, which you're not going to see a picture of him, I may show a picture. I think I'd rather ask him if he would. I'm not going to put any up for eBay, but I don't think I'll put a picture of him even to show. But anyways, because of this human being, I feel I'm alive today. And if it wasn't for that great love of that human being, I don't know where I would be right now. And although the picture is really wacky, I was quite happy. I was super happy. Because he was there. So he was here during these pictures. I kind of wanted to see if he was in the background. No, it's all crew in the background. So when Melinda and I were doing these, so this is the bridge where we end up fighting and falling off. And we had lots of fun. Melinda and I just had a blast. And she was with her partner. My partner was there. And we all they both made fun of us. And they took pictures of us. Both of them. Because they just thought we were absurd. Which we were. And those are the two pictures of us. And we're just being silly and blowing kisses. Doing our weird faces with our crazy eyes. And I believe she's Taurus too. Two big old fat bulls on the bridge. And then the last one is the Illusia. Illusia? I think it's Illusia. This one, which is really lovely. I mean, so well done. And it wasn't a picture for any other reason but to show the hair and the makeup and the costume, probably to get the approval for the producers. And someone, and I'm really sorry, I can't remember who it was, someone blew it up for me and gave it to me. And it's a lovely, I mean, it's just, whoever took it is like, it's just a perfect shot, which is unusual, because usually those things, they don't do, it's just to get the shape and the idea of it. But it's so close and so clear, you can even see the 3 eyeliners coming out from the side. Because that character was like the fool. And I can really relate to that too. I can really relate to the fool and the wisdom of the fool. And the silliness and the non-importance of the fool. I really relate to that now, the older I get. And learning how not to take yourself so damn seriously, because none of us are all that important. And we're all deeply important in one way. And our egos, we're here and we're gone. We're here and we're gone. And what can we leave that's beautiful? What imprint can we leave that's beautiful? So those are the photos. I'm going to share the bobblehead doll with you, and I'm going to show you my crushed dolls and let you guys tell me what you think of. And I even have a bunch of convention jewelry that I'll share with you because Jacob said share it. So I'll start with the bobble doll. Here we go. This, by the way, today was the first day I ever opened it. I had never opened it before. This morning, and Renee's like, don't open it. I'm like, I want to open it. I want to see what it looks like. This is the bobblehead. How hilarious is that? Look how friendly that face is. What do you think? She got her little knife. She's like little short legs. I don't know why they couldn't make the hair longer. I guess her head wouldn't bobble. But that's all right. So, I will put that up. And the box is okay. I'll show you the box too. But if people are like really want something in super pristine condition, don't get these things. I mean, this box is okay. But I didn't hold these things with like the greatest of reverence. Not that I don't respect that I did them, but they just, I was not over attached to them. So that's the box, and it's hand painted. And then in the back it shows Lucy and Renee and the beautiful Kevin and myself. and it has a choking hazard. So please don't eat it. I don't know why it says choking hazard. But so that's the Bobble doll, and Renee can put that up. And this is the other stuff that I just wanted to share with you guys and see what you guys think. Someone gave this to my dad. This is a Callisto watch. And what's funny is I actually need a watch for Amrit Puri because I don't want to carry my phone around everywhere. And I'm like, oh, I'm putting this one up. I'm not going to wear a Callisto watch. I don't need that memory on my wrist. So, and I'm sure it's not real leather. No idea. I think it was made in Hong Kong. Not surprising. Okay, so, and you guys can let me know. And then the dolls are interesting because some of the dolls I got from fans that they turned into. I'll just show you the two Callisto ones I have, which are just terrifying. Please do not be disturbed by the boxes. So this is one. And it has never been opened either, but the box is just, everything has just been, I did not buy these. People just, it's funny, like when you're on TV, people, I do appreciate it because I would never buy it myself. So people buy you dolls of you, and it's interesting, but then you're like, what am I going to do with this? Like, it's not like I'm going to put them up. Put them on my altar. So anyways, so you guys let me know if that's something that you're interested in, and I'm happy to sign it, sign whatever to it or whatever. And then what is really creative that other people did. So before the dolls came out, which I think is really cool, and the first convention I did was a small convention, and it was not, I can't remember where it was with a bunch of people in different shows. And it was not a Xenon convention, and it wasn't the, oh God, I'm not even thinking of what that's, creation convention. It was another convention. It was very small, and the person was so clever. They made the dress that I wore to that convention. I should find a picture of that, actually. And maybe I could even offer a picture of that very first convention in that dress too. So they took a Barbie doll and they made their own costume, and then this dress is the dress that I wore to the very first convention. And then I haven't seen this one a lot. This had to be a Hercules because I'm wearing the Heinz blood, but that is, and they even made their own box, but it's a Barbie. Literally a Barbie, and they tried to like make the hair all like crazy. They did a great job, and she even has a sword. She's got a sword and a holder for what are those things? A dagger. Anyways, so there's that, and then someone got really creative, although she's showing a boob, and did this version of when I got to wear that kind of Roman outfit and cut all the hair off. And that also has a dagger and a sword in it. And then they wrote something on the back for Ides of March. Ah, that's me. That was me. That's funny. And then on the bottom, it's got all the terrible action figures of all of us that look like none of us. So those are all, oh no, I've got these two. And now this one I'm sure you've all seen. And what's interesting about this is she's actually wearing a thong. I explored it, and she's got a thong on. And when I first did the first Callisto I ever did, and I was fighting on those ladders, I was wearing a thong. Until the costume woman was like, come with me. Like, you cannot wear a thong while you're underneath the crew and you're kicking. So they gave me boy shorts, like tight little black boy shorts. So The thong only lasted a little while, but what's funny is this has a thong on it. I do kind of like this one in the sense that I feel like it's got that kind of creepy, like how I would move back in the day. And I like that the feet and everything move. And even the hands move. This is the most I played with it. It's very weird. And they gave me hair. I loved that outfit. That Nyla Dickinson did such an amazing job on and they would fit me for that outfit every time I came, because in case your body would change at all, they wanted to make sure it was perfect. And they did have snakes. You probably remember this better than I do. They had snakes in the front. And I adore snakes. Even when I go for hiking, I just saw a giant snake the other day and took pictures of it. Maybe I'll put it on Facebook so you guys can see it. And I've seen 2 tarantulas going on hikes as well, out in the wild, first time ever, separately. Didn't see them together. But I did see a giant snake. And I do feel like snakes are super sacred, but I know that they're also, spiders and snakes are creepy to some people. They aren't to me. Although I wouldn't want to be a prey to either. And then someone made this gorgeous little tiny Callisto. I don't know what this is. I don't even know how they did it. It's so small. With a giant sword. And the last things, well, it's not the last thing, because I'll show you the jewelry that I have. And we're going to try to pull together. It's a shame that we didn't have cell phones in a way back in the day when we did conventions, because it would have been fun to just see those old conventions. So I've got the crazy t-shirt. I think Anita wore this to pick me up once because she thought it was hilarious and then gave it to me. So I have one that I'm happy to get rid of. And I'm happy to sign however anybody would like it, if they would like one. And then someone made me this one, which is far too sweet in the sense that I wish I looked this sweet. But the artwork is really beautifully done. I don't know if you can see that. And it's just blank on the back. And then I'm going to show you the convention jewelry very quickly, because I want to talk about the thing I really, really love. And I want to read what you have to say. So these were earrings I wore at one convention where I had really dark hair. And it was like a snake skin dress. So all the dresses I don't have because they went up for auction. And they went to Anita's charities, the James Ellis Foundation charity. These I wore with this crazy short little white dress where it was really low, and underneath I wore this kind of bra that was all sparkly, the same as this. But I can grab the pictures too. And then the last things, which of course makes sense to me, I wore, I didn't wear high heels, and I wore barefoot, and these are anklets, which makes sense because it's so Indian. It's Indian. So these gorgeous 2 gold and red, deep red anklets. And then this is actually a necklace, an Indian choker that goes with it, but I didn't wear it as a choker. I wore it as a headpiece, like that. So those, you guys let me know. We're not going to put them up unless people are interested. And I had one tight bracelet. And that's all of the jewelry. Ugh, it's not all the jewelry. I also have one gorgeous ring. I really liked dressing up. I really enjoyed it. I found it so much fun. And I think my friend Cindy even picked out these earrings for me. I think we even picked them out in LA together, or Seattle, I can't remember. It's helpful to have friends. I do have a pair of shoes that I wore that are stunning, that are gold and silver and black, and they're like all in sequins, and they're, it's funny when I talk about this stuff. It is fun. It is fun and exciting. Okay,